She turned to leave, but a figure appeared in front of her. Laura watched his face and noticed his eyes reflected the rats that seemed to be his companions. The vampire, he only grinned, his teeth. A rat-eating vampire. In the small town of Sandville, where the streets were lit only by dim streetlights and the houses stood like forgotten ghosts, lived a girl named Laura. She always felt that something sinister lurked in this town. Laura often heard whispers among the trees in the night and saw shadows sliding along the walls. But one day, when she returned home late at night, her fears became a reality. That evening, Laura decided to take a walk through the old abandoned streets. Her friend Mary, who had always talked about the rumors that went around about a vampire who hunted rats, couldn't have imagined how true it would be. Laura chuckled, thinking it was just childish, scary stories. But when she heard a strange scrambling sound and saw something black run past, her confidence began to crack. Laura followed the shadow into a dark alley. At the edge of the light, where there was no light or sound, she came across an old abandoned warehouse. The door creaked as she pushed it open, and Laura stepped inside. It was dark and cold inside, but she felt a strange pull. Suddenly there was a rustling sound out of the darkness and rats jumped out from behind the crates as if someone had scared them away. Laura's heart beat faster. She turned to leave, but a figure appeared in front of her. A tall, thin man with pale skin and red eyes, his smile sinister and grim. Laura realized that he was the vampire Mary had spoken of. He wasn't just any vampire, but a rat-eater who went out hunting to quench his thirst for blood. "You shouldn't have come in here," the vampire said, his voice low and ominous. Laura felt the cold creeping under her skin. She tried to back away, but his eyes locked onto her gaze. He began to move closer, and Laura felt terror overwhelm her. Suddenly he leaned over and began to twirl around her as if in a dance, resembling an outlandish creature. Laura watched his face and noticed his eyes reflected the rats that seemed to be his companions. They scrabbled across the floor as if waiting for their master's command. "I feed only on those who dare to invade my world," he uttered, and his voice became even more sullen. "You did not come here by accident, Laura. You are the next victim." Laura, gathering all her courage, shouted, "I am not afraid of you!" But the words didn't seem to reach the vampire. He only grinned, his teeth gleaming in the dim light like sharp blades. At that moment the rats seemed to get the command. They rushed at Laura as if they were part of his plan. She felt panic overwhelm her, and at the last moment before the rats reached her, she remembered Mary's words about a vampire being afraid of light. Grabbing her phone, she turned on the flashlight and blinded the vampire. His screams echoed in the darkness as he stepped back, his face contorted with rage and pain. Laura took advantage of the moment and ran out of the warehouse without looking back. As she ran outside, the stillness of the night seemed unbearable. Laura knew the rat-eating vampire was still out there, somewhere in the shadows of Sandville, waiting for his next victim. She had made up her mind that she would never return to this cursed town again. But in the silence there was a low whisper, as if thousands of rats were watching her, ready for her next attack of fear.